Welcome back to Chamber Chat. Thanks for staying with us on this very special episode of Chamber Chat, where we're covering all women's health topics, but specifically breast cancer and breast health. Thank you, Debbie, so much for co-hosting with me today. I want to introduce to you Karen Barton, who is a Citrus County resident who received a breast cancer diagnosis at a very early age. And like we talked about in the first segment, breast cancer affects women of all ages, but you know this all too well. Karen, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your story. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your experience? How did you even receive this diagnosis?
Well, I had had a lump and I was hurting, so I went to the doctor and they sent me over to the Citrus County Diagnostic Center for an ultrasound, which before I've had the lump for about 5 or 6 years. I had been monitoring it with ultrasounds. Because of my age, they would not give me a mammogram. So with this recent diagnosis with the CDC, it lit up. It was positive. So they had to make sure with my insurance company, because I was not 40 at the time, if it was covered. So then once it got approved, then they let me have a mammogram. And I should have had one years ago, because talking to my oncologist, Dr. Rao, with the blood and cancer disease of Lecanto, he said if there was a lump, they should have allowed you to have a mammogram. But knowing this now and not being told this earlier is really frustrating, that I could have played a part of not having a mastectomy, not having to go through chemo, getting it done, getting a lumpectomy. That's what I wanted, but my doctor, my previous doctor up in Tennessee, she said, oh, well, if it's negative, don't worry about it. Well, I wanted it out, but if I would know that it was going to turn into cancer later on, then, you know, I would have gone to somewhere else. But hindsight.
Sure.
So did you have any history in your family?
No, I did not have any immediate family history. My dad passed away with prostate cancer, but not, you know, not with breast cancer. So there was the cancer gene, but not this particular one.
Well, like we were talking earlier, there's 80% of the women diagnosed with breast cancer had no history of risk factors. So it's so important for everybody to be tested for breast cancer, all women.
At all ages.
At all ages.
And I have learned through my doctor, from my oncologist, that there is a test that you can take now that can see if you have that gene. And I have a 4-year-old, and they want to test him to see if he has it, because then he can pass it down to his children. And so with that, I mean, it's important. That's where, you know, the American Cancer Society, I'm involved with the Relay for Life here in Lecanto. I'm the team development chair for this year. So because the American Cancer Society has helped me, because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know about prosthesis. I didn't know about the special bras. This is all new to me. You know, I had no idea, you know, after the mastectomy, and then going through the treatments, and I mean, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming, especially at a young age, and sitting in the treatment rooms, and everybody's my grandparents' age.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it is horrifying, you know, for me to sit there. I mean, I'm going through something at a much earlier age than all of these folks in the treatment room have. You know, and luckily, you know, I have a port, so you know, everything goes in intravenously through the port and not the veins. And I see some people getting their treatments through the veins, and I can't, because I had the lymph nodes taken out. to check. So I can't have any, that's why I wear this, so I can't have any blood pressure or needles on this arm because of lymphedema.
That's correct.
You know, with that. So, so they only have this arm to work off of, you know, with that. So for the rest of my life, I can't. You know, so it is very frustrating that if it was preventable, you know, it needs more legislation needs to be out there to change.
Absolutely.
To change, and more education if individuals.
Yeah. And I think you just sharing your story with, you know, Citrus County residents and our viewers, I think it helps to sort of plant that seed and let people know that things could be different. It doesn't have to be this way, but you're cancer-free.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful. That's
yes,
fantastic.
Yes, as of April.
Thank you so much for being here today,
Thank you
Karen.
for having
Again,
me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching Chamber Chat. If you'd like to be featured on Chamber Chat, email me at spotlightmelissa@aol.com. Have a great week, Citrus County. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.